So Oracle EBS is going to wind up by 2030. So that is the reason most of the companies, almost middle scale, very large scale, LSI, all kind of companies are looking for from Oracle EBS to Fusion migration. Okay. So that is the overall experience of mine. So we'll go quickly to our PPT and then we'll see what and all syllabus which is present for inventory management. And I already told, right, transport management is very less part, but I will check it out. Is there any kind of documentation we'll get? But I'll cover total inventory management from end to end.
Okay.
So this is the quick view of our syllabus actually. So what and all we are going to cover in the in the inventory management. So we'll talk about what is the Fusion Cloud. So in the upcoming slides. So what is inventory management? How are we going to add or how this module will be integrated with the other modules? So if you talk from here, if you see material management is the one of the key step for always I'm getting procurement, inventory management and material management and product management. So both are the one of the key factors for inventory. So without this, we can't do any kind of transactions. So basically material management, product management will cover the items. So how item will be defined, what are the specifications of item, how this item has to be associated with which inventory are. So all kind of item related information will be stored in the material management or product management. Okay. So in order to do any kind of transactions, either shipments or receipts or inventory transfers or any kind of miscellaneous receipt, miscellaneous issue. So all kind of things we are going to do is the inventory material transfers, inventory controls, inventory replenishment methods. So what my inventory replenishment method is? So for example, let's say you have a manufacturing plant. Okay, so you have an item, one of the item, so which is required every day at some 10 quantity. So without having the 10 quantity, one second. Sorry. Without the 10 quantity, your manufacturing will stop. So how they are going to do is they are going to maintain that particular stock into the inventory like a sub inventory or whichever IFZ sub inventory we have, they are maintaining. So here, whenever that stock will reduce to less than 10, automatically replenishment will happen. So that is without manual intervention. So that kind of techniques we'll use in the inventory, what and all replenishment methods we have to fulfill your stock. To always you can maintain the certain threshold value of stock to overcome your material, manufacturing kind of activities. So those kind of things are there in the inventory replenishment methods and accuracy methods. Accuracy methods means, let's say you have what you call inventory. So in the physically, you are finding from some of the items which are present in your business. So there are let us take one example, like one of the item. So physically it is showing as 100 quantity, but in the system wise it is showing as 90. So there is a difference between physical as well as transaction wise, the system wise. So that kind of things, how are you going to adjust it? So physically whatever it is showing, it is the final value. So how are you going to see that, how are you going to adjust that? So those kind of things we are going to take using the inventory accuracy methods. And similarly, whenever any kind of procurement happen, so how to receive that materials into your inventory organization. So inventory receipts, we'll talk about that. And shipments will be order management. Once you ship the material to the customer, how are you going to do that? But see here, inventory management is one of the common unit for all the modules. Like it will be connected to order management, it will be connected to procurement, it will be connected to even manufacturing modules. All some of the operations are inventory operation, some of the operations are related to the other modules as well. So you have handling the inventory management. So I'm going to talk about little bit on receipts, shipments with one or two workflows, so that you will understand how the shipment will happen, how the receipt happen from the POs. Okay. And inventory counts, it is a part of accuracy method. So accuracy methods are, we have two types. One is physical counting and cycle counting. So counts, under the counts, we have accuracy methods. So these two are the combined things. Okay, and then inventory on hands. So how we are going to find out on hand quantity for your items? How are you going to find out on hand quantity for your item, which is located control, lot control, and another sub inventories? All kind of stuff we are going to see using manage material. What do you call manage item related information. So from that you can find out what and all on hand quantities are there, and once you do any kind of transactions, what are the transactions has been recorded in the inventory management. So those kind of things you can see through the inventory on hand and completed transactions. And also we'll see some walkthrough of Oracle Fusion OTB and BA reports. So let's say you done some transaction, so you wanted to see the seeded reports, what and all reports that has to be run by the Oracle. So those kind of things we can see using the OTB and BA reports. So this is the quick view of what to call the inventory management syllabus, but have a detailed syllabus also there in the upcoming slides.
Okay.
So this is the architecture there is. So earlier architecture was two-tier architecture. So like our architecture is three-tier architecture here. So this is the history of our Oracle Fusion, how it has came into the market. So earlier the ERP tools, if you see here the fourth point, so we have Oracle EBS, JD Edwards, PeopleSoft, and Hyperion. So these are the old ERP systems of Oracle. Okay, so from that ERP systems, they have pulled the best features from that. From the scratch, Oracle Fusion has been developed with different modules. So in the what and all modules we have, so the modules we have here, SCM supply chain, HCM is human capital management. It will talk about employees, and then what you call salaries, and then their leaves, all kind of stuff will be taken care by the SCM. And SCM is supply chain is ours. So it is also having some 4 to 5 modules. We have a procurement, inventory, product management, manufacturing, and transport, and PIM, product development and product information management. So all these 4 to 5 to 6 combinations we used to call it as a SCM, supply chain management. And CRM will be customer relationship management, and manufacturing module also it is a part of SCM. So like that, currently in the 22C we have, I mean, see this slide will be a bit old. So we have a, other than that there are a lot of other modules also came into picture. So project management, that is also one of the module has been introduced by the Oracle. So but SCM point of view, you have to think how many modules you have under that inventory management. Also it is integral part with the all the across the other modules. So it is not an independent module. So that way you can understand the what is the inventory module significance in the Fusion. Currently this is not 12C version. Currently we are in the R13 version and 22C. So every quarter they are going to release what you call patches or some enhancements. So currently the version is 22C. I'll show in the system. So how we are going to find out how we are going to find out what is the version. Let me introduce him. I mean, he is actually yesterday tomorrow's session. I don't know why he joined. Let him join. Second. Hello. Hey, Venki, actually this is not the class of procurement. So procurement classes are Tuesday, right? Why you joined today?
Today which class, sir?
This is different inventory management. It is not belongs to our sessions. Okay, anyhow you join, just to keep on mute, just listen what I'm telling you. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. So if you talk, sorry. So here currently we are in the R1322C version. And if you come to database of Oracle Fusion is using 2 databases. One is Oracle database. Yeah, sorry, there is. Hello.
Hello. Yeah.
Are you telling something? I mean, you are asking.
No.
Okay. So Sybase and Oracle database. These are the 2 databases which will be using for Oracle Fusion. So what is a Sybase is? Sybase used for running the reports. So I was telling, right, OTP and BI reports. So those kind of things will be run by the Sybase. And whereas Oracle database will be used to store our configuration screens, transaction screens. So it is similar like a Oracle database, like through SQL, PL, SQL, you can query the data, and always the data will be stored in the table format.
Okay.
But in the Sybase, the data will be stored in cubes format. Okay. Go to next slide. So this is the what you call how many modules we have in the Oracle Fusion. What is the first version? And currently it is not R12, it is R13 version. First version came into picture, I mean, almost like 2014 onwards. So R8, it was the first release. So there HCM was there. Then keep on adding the modules. Now currently we're in the R13. So R13 even yeah, here project portfolio, customer relationship, human capital. So like that there are brought even transport management. That is also one of the new thing. And in the order management, if you see, we have a one more module came, small module, that is subscription management. So like that every quarterly or every yearly Oracle will be keep on adding the features, adding the new modules as well.
Yeah.
And this is somewhat this is somewhat very I mean, we need to understand what is the Oracle Fusion models we have. Okay, so it is bit to know actually, because once you know the difference of these things, then going forward will be very easy. So Oracle Fusion models are, we have it three models: SaaS model, PaaS, and IaaS. SaaS is software as a service. So PaaS is platform as a service, and IaaS is infrastructure as a service. So what is SaaS is, in the SaaS, if we see here, this one, so all the application, data, runtime, middleware, operating systems, virtual systems, everything will be taken care by the Oracle. So we are going to get one URL, and once you have a user ID password, you can log in and you can do your transactions. We don't need to maintain servers in our premises. We don't need to maintain any patch installations, migration, nothing. Everything will be taken care by the Oracle. And in the SaaS, only certain customization will be allowed, like in the pages when you want to bring some kind of new fields, those kind of things we can do in the SaaS. But system won't allow more customization. For example, let's say you want to develop any separate screens, those kind of things you cannot do in the SaaS. So that is the kind of limitation. But as compared to EBS, the SaaS license is pretty less. And if it is, for example, EBS is $100, this will be one tenth of that, so $10. But here every monthly recurring billings are there. So that way Oracle will be more benefiting. And moreover, maintaining the servers, maintaining backend people, admin kind of things will be very tough. So that is the reason it will be completely removed in the Fusion. Okay, and the PaaS. So PaaS and SaaS, the difference is, in the PaaS we have a some new customization, whatever customization we want, the pages, those kind of things we can do through the PaaS. Okay, but rest of the things are same. And come to IaaS, infrastructure as a service. So here what they are doing is, in the SaaS and PaaS, Oracle will be maintaining public servers. Public servers means that one of the server, or maybe it depends upon the load. So the one server, they're going to partition based on the project. Let's say you have a 4 projects. So one project they have given one portion. Like that, they're going to maintain the public servers. But in the IaaS, we can maintain the private servers. So those servers will be installed in your premises. So it won't be installed in the Oracle Cloud. It will be installed in the inner premises. But it is similar like a Oracle EBS, like server kind of things. But here, why they will go for IaaS is because IaaS is not entertaining by Oracle Cloud at present. But what is the basic purpose of IaaS is, when you want to maintain your data very secured way. So nobody wanted to know that data, whatever transactions you are doing. Even Oracle also don't have any permission to touch your servers. So like that, once you have any kind of design, they'll go for IaaS. But as per my knowledge and my experience, I have not seen any IAS model will be used by the clients at present. Okay. And these are the three models, but predominantly which models we are using is a SaaS, software as a service. But these things very high value. I mean, the cost will be more the pass. And if you compare IAS, the cost is more than double of the pass. So that is the reason here. This is the thing which will be using by most of the company, 99.99%. But wherever any kind of customization or new forms development are happening, they'll go for the pass. So like that, they have segregated the models into three types here.
Yeah. Okay.
And Oracle Fusion. So in order to use the Oracle Fusion, we require three users. One is implementation user, like we are going to configure the system as per the business requirements, like employee user. Employee means like you, right, Dheeraj, you are the end user. So
Yeah.
you are the employee user. You are going to be responsible for recording the transaction screens. So whatever business wants, anything you wanted to do, any receipts or issue or whatever on hand quantity you want to check. So those kind of things will be taken care by the employee user. And we have one more user called as super user, that is called as IT admin user. So this guy purpose is just creating the users, adding the roles, deleting the user. So and then any kind of lock. So for example, let's say Dheeraj has resigned the company. So going forward, the same instance, they want to stop the access. Instead of deleting, we have a option to lock it. So once you lock it, so you are not supposed to log into the system with your user handling and credentials. So that kind of things, all kind of admin backend kind of. It is not a completely database backend. It is a backend of your functional things. So those kind of things will be taken care by the IT admin guys. Okay. So implementation user or functional user, both are same. So when you want to configure the system, so these are the job roles are required: application implementation consultant, application implementation manager. So once I have these roles, I can configure a system either for whichever module the company expects. Okay. And IT admin. So in order to become the IT admin or super user, you require IT security manager. So once you have that, system will give you the privilege to create the users and to delete the user, to log the users. And employee user means once you have an employee role. So without having employee role, the system won't allow to do any transactions in the any specific any kind of module. So we will take inventory or procurement wherever, but employee role is mandatory. So with help of that, you can do not. I mean that is the one of the role. Along with we require, for example, if you want to do any kind of transactions in inventory, so we require that some major roles. What you called warehouse manager, inventory manager, and then warehouse operator, receiving agent, shipping agent. So like that, there are multiple roles are required along with the employee role. If employee role is not there, those kind of things won't work sometimes. So that is the reason employee user always require employee role plus rest of the other roles.
Yeah.
And any questions here, Dheeraj?
No, no, Rama. It's clear. Yeah.
So this is the security kind of activity like at IT admin. Whenever you wanted to add the roles will be different classifications here. One is duty role, job role, abstract role, and data role. So what we are going to see in our system is the job roles. So procurement requester, procurement preparer, and inventory manager. So these are the various job roles. So the job role will decide what kind of duties he can do. Inventory manager can do inventory operations like miscellaneous receipt issue, and then account alias issue, account alias receipt, such a kind of operation they're going to do. That is called a job role. And abstract role means the role, this is also similar like a job role, but does not require any data access. So data access means, for example, let's say you want to create the what do you call receipt. Okay. So receipt for your certain inventory, certain PO.
Activity.
Let's say PO you created. For that PO, you want to make a receipt in inventory management. So you have a receiving agent job role. but along with you require the data access for inventory organization. Without this, you are not supposed to create the any transactions in the inventory management. That is called as data role. Data role. So abstract role, some of the roles which does not require any data access. The best example is employee role. Once you apply the employee role, no need to have any data access. So automatically some of the privileges will be inherited by the system. Similarly, application implementation consultant does not require any kind of data access. Once you have that, we are able to see setup and maintenance in our dashboard. So like that, that is also one of the role, but does not require any data access. That is called as abstract role. And data role means what I told, data access. And duty role is nothing but data role plus job role. These two combinations we call it as a duty role. Okay. And data access set, this is having a lot of significance in the procurement, but I have not seen any kind of significance in our inventory management. So the basic purpose of this is when you want to maintain the secure data. Let's say you have a 3 BUs, business unit, India and Japan and UK. So the UK data you don't want to share to India. Similarly, India data you don't want to share to UK. So if you want to maintain the security, then they're going to use the data access set. Okay, and this is the architecture, Oracle Fusion architecture we call it as. So how for all the modules, whatever modules which we are using in the either SCM or finance, so these architecture is common. So you have to define what is the enterprise name, means for which company, what is the project name, so the client name, so we will define in the enterprise, and then primary ledger, so to record the sessions of your transactions, whatever transactions we are going to do, either shipment or receipts, all kind of things we are going to record in the ledger. So ledger will be useful basically for running your balance sheets or profit loss, all kind of stuff. And the legal entity means, for example, once you want to run any company, you must be registered with the government, that is legal entity. And business unit, so business unit will decide what functions your BU will be doing, whether it will be doing metal transactions or whether it will be doing inventory or receiving or shipments. So all kind of functions can be decided or can be configured in the BU. And then inventory, so BU is just decide the functions, but inventory to record your inventory transactions. So that is the inventory purpose, and all will be interlinked. So primary ledger, enterprise name link, enterprise name it is independent. Primary ledger linked with legal entity with linked with BU, and inventory, sub inventory, and locators. So whenever if wants to define that, automatically some areas we're going to interlink all these kind of architectures. Okay, so one BU can have a multiple inventories, one legal entity can have a multiple BUs, one ledger can have a multiple legal entities. So like that you can leverage your architecture.
Okay.
And here we are going to talk about inventory, sub inventory, locators with the inventory point of view. Okay.
Yeah.
And these are the like whatever modules we have seen the first slide. So this is the 3-tier architecture. Front end has been developed by the Java. There is a middleware and there is a backend. So the backend means database, that we have a Oracle database as well as S-base. S-base or Sybase, both are same. So if you see here, there is a transport management also came bit long back, I think 21A, maybe 20, I don't know, because I'm not touching that map. That is what I'm not aware when it has came, but it has came.
Yeah.
And this is the syllabus actually, Dheeraj. So we're going to, we have Excel here. I'll share this particular PPT. So once you open that, okay, let me go back. Sorry. Oh, it's not opening. I'll share that one.
Yeah.
So these are the just in a high level. I am just kept some of the screenshots where I'll share the syllabus detail so that you will get to know what and all we are going to cover. And this is the front end, how it is look like. So this is the dashboard or springboard we call it as. So once you have user ID password, once you click on sign in, so I'm going to come to this page.
Okay.
And this is my channel actually. So I think you also contacted through channel, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Have you subscribed?
Yeah. That's right.
Thank you. Yeah, that's all from my end. I'll show to you how it is connecting. I mean, how it is look like. So this is the URL we are going to get from your either leads or your business.
Okay. So do you provide this one to
Yeah, for
practice?
practice, yes, I will provide.
Okay.
So till the course has been ended, so till that you can use it, and then once course ended, we will be revoked.
Yeah.
So user ID, password. Once you log in, so our main area. So here, since I have all the roles, I can configure my system using setup and maintenance. This is the icon. It has to be present, so that with help of that you can configure the system. And I was telling right about this application, what is the version. If you want to check about this application, once you click on, you'll come to know what is the version 22C.
Okay.
And here the major part of your transaction screens is, it will be under the supply chain execution. Let me open that. Yeah, supply chain. Yes. So under this, it is the inventory management. So once you have a sufficient job roles and data access, then in this particular icon or sub icon, we have a task pan or task list. We can call it as anything, it will be fine. So under this, there are multiple transactions.
Yeah.
So all are belongs to inventory. We have inventory, count, shipment, picks, receipts. Okay. So these kind of things will be controlled using the data access and job role. So once you don't have sufficient job roles and data access, these kind of some of the things it won't work. Okay, so in order to use these transactions, you must configure the system using the setup and maintenance. So once you go to setup and maintenance, okay. One second.
Yeah.
Okay, under setup and maintenance, you have to go to manufacturing and supply. So here the inventory management. So these are the functional areas we call it as, or offerings we call it as. So based on your license, so we are going to find out the what and all licenses you have, what and all functional areas will get based on the license. So since this instance having all the license, so this will be like a demo come license version of my previous project. So that is the reason I could see all the functional areas. So in this manufacturing supply, so this is our portion, inventory management. So these are various tasks we have, configurations we have.
Yeah.
So once you configure that, so rest of your transactions will work.
Okay.
Okay, so with this, I'll wind up. Any kind of
Yeah.
questions you have, Dheeraj? Section.
No, it's, everything is clear for me. So
Okay,
there's no doubt.
okay.
So, yeah, my
I-
only concern is like
uh,
if at all you would have teach me the transport management, then it would be very good with
transport, yeah,
respect to
we'll
this.
see at last sessions.
Yeah.
Maybe if I collect some kind of things, maybe 1 or 2 sessions I'll give high level, but you don't expect like in detail in the transport.
No. Just a basic thing is enough for me.
Sure, sure. I'll try. I'll
Yeah.
try. Okay.
Okay, Ram. Yeah.
Okay. So we will touch base you
Mm.
Monday, right? Wednesday. Wednesday, 8 o'clock you can join.
Yes. Okay.
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 Same link, 8 o'clock you can join.
Yeah. Okay, Ram. Thank you.
So the thing is already we discussed, right? Let me stop.